Eshani, aka Total Makeup Junkie 101. I feel like doing a little bit of a chatty, rambly, very casual video with you guys today. It's been quite a while since I've done a Q&A, so I went on my Instagram and asked you guys to just ask me anything. I am on my Instagram post that just says Q&A time. I actually made 2 posts, so I will go through both of them. I can't answer every single question, but I've noticed a lot of these questions were already answered in previous Q&A videos that I've already done. Okay, Ran_clicks asks, can you please do a video on your favorite MAC lipsticks for Indian skin tones or the best nude lipsticks for Indian skin tones? Thanks. I already did do my favorite nude lipsticks for Indian skin tones video. It's a little bit of an older video, but I still think it's very helpful. I will link it in the description box below for you. Batak Flower Beauty asks, your go-to period comfort, everything, comfort food, comfort clothes, comfort thing to watch or read. My favorite comfort food, and honestly, what's more comfortable than just a bowl of cereal and milk? I am like a cereal addict. I absolutely love cereal. To wear, honestly, just anything loose and baggy, always. I hate wearing like tights or jeans. Oh, I hate wearing jeans in general. And for things to watch, I would probably just make myself a warm chai latte because I love chai lattes and hunker down in front of my TV and just watch one of my favorite TV shows, which would be Friends, first and foremost, or Gilmore Girls or Desperate Housewives. Those are my top 3. Smash Bravo asks, do you ever feel guilty about how much you spend on makeup? I try not to because I think I deserve it, but sometimes I get the case of the guilt. That's actually a really good question because I get a lot of people asking me, you know, why do you spend so much on makeup? Don't you feel guilty for it? As long as I do make a video showing the product that I buy, I never feel guilty because I feel like it's going to a greater cause, and I do get paid for making videos on YouTube. I don't get paid by brands because I don't do sponsored videos, but I do get paid by YouTube based on views on my video, which ends up paying for the product or products that I showed. And also, if I didn't do it, if I just never bought a new makeup product ever, I feel like my channel would get really boring. I'll be perfectly honest. It's always nice to hear about the newest, latest, and greatest thing. And I know a lot of you guys are here on my channel because I try to do videos on the newest products, and I'm happy to do it. I love to do it. Sushma Munish asks, what gave you the confidence to start your own channel? What helped you keep making videos on the beginning when you might have had a very less number of subscribers? So I did start my channel because at the time that I started, which was 6 years ago now, I didn't feel like there were a lot of people of my skin tone making beauty videos on YouTube. Most of the people, at least who were really popular, had, you know, a lighter complexion, and the products they were recommending just weren't really geared towards my skin tone. So that was kind of the initial like light bulb that went off in my head, like, hey, I think I can do this and I can hopefully appeal to a wider variety of people. The biggest thing I would say about starting a YouTube channel is never start it for money or for views or to get people commenting or watching your videos. Do it because you love makeup. Or if it's not a makeup channel, I mean, just do it because you love something and you want to talk about it. I think the fact that I was really getting into makeup and none of my friends at that time were really into makeup the way I was, it really helped me find another outlet, and that outlet just happened to be YouTube. I didn't have a lot of views or subscribers, but I kept doing it and I kept making videos because I really loved it and I loved talking about makeup. Annie_BB asks, do you ever go a day without wearing any makeup? Girl, watch my Snapchat stories because like 99% of them, I don't have makeup on. Sabrina Miller X5 asks, have you ever struggled with self-confidence / insecurities growing up? If so, what are some tips on building self-esteem? Love your channel. Thank you. Honestly, and I mean, I don't want to lie to you guys and say, yeah, I've been there, done that, but there have been like little things that maybe I didn't like about myself, but overall, on the whole, I was a super confident kid. I guess confidence just really comes from within, and not comparing yourself to others, I would say, is probably the #1 thing that will give you more confidence. The second you start comparing your body to another person, or your test scores to another person, or where you're going to college, or what your job is, or what your husband is like, or what your kids are like, or anytime you start comparing, that's when you are just not going to feel good about yourself. So I would say don't compare yourself. You do you, be who you are. Farza Nation again asks, what is your favorite collab that a YouTuber has done with a makeup brand? By the way, I love you. I love you too. I would definitely probably say the original Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop Pressed Shimmering Skin Perfector. I know that was a huge seller. It was so hyped up. Everybody wanted it, and it is now permanent in Becca's line. And I actually think that was a very good product. It really deserved the hype because it's a very nice color, and I really love Champagne Pop. Even to this day, it's one of my go-to highlighters. Iconic_glam asks, what is your favorite guilty pleasure TV show? Recently, it's been The Bachelorette. I've never been a Bachelor or Bachelorette fan. This is the very first season I've ever watched, but I've been liking it. Plastic Hag, I hope that's how you say it. If that is, it's kind of a creative name. How do you feel about the current Jeffree Star controversy? Do you plan on continuing to purchase his products? I feel like I could make an entire video dedicated to this topic. You guys know that I am a big Jeffree Star cosmetics fan. I really, really do like his products. I think his Skin Frost highlighters are amazing. I did do a full review video on that, and around that time is kind of when the whole controversy and, you know, everything just kind of like started up. I did end up purchasing the Beauty Killer eyeshadow palette around the same time, kind of before I was really informed about the controversy, and I was going to do a video, but I decided to not do a video on it. I don't think Jeffree Star is honestly a bad person. I don't think he has bad intentions. I don't think he means ill on anybody, but I do think the way that he's been expressing himself lately with the cussing, the drugs, the way he just kind of acts, overall just kind of acts like he's a little bit better than everybody. He's a little bit on a higher pedestal than all the rest of us followers. I do think that is inappropriate. I do think for the amount that he says on how humble he is and how he had a very humble beginning and, you know, this and that, I do think it's very interesting how many videos he has about get ready with me in my Rolls Royce. I do think he works very hard and he deserves everything that he purchases, but at the same time, there is a fine line between, you know, buying yourself nice things and, you know, being very fabulous to acting like you're entitled. I do think that whole situation with Rocky Roadkill was blown out of proportion, and I do completely and totally blame Jeffree for that. I haven't really seen a genuine apology from him, and I think I've seen Rocky Roadkill's, you know, videos that he's done on this whole topic. I watched his original video, the Jeffree Star Skin Frost disaster, and then I watched his like update to it and, you know, what has happened since then. And I think he is so sweet for not bashing Jeffree Star. He never once came across as angry or mad. He did say that he can't support Jeffree anymore, but he still said many, many times that he loves Jeffree Star. He's his role model. Even still to this day, he still respects him. And I think that is very, very big. I definitely think if roles were reversed and if Jeffree was put in Rocky Roadkill's position, Jeffree would completely and totally cuss out the opposite party. He would not forgive him. He would cuss him out, probably on a Snapchat rant. So I just think it's very it's not very appropriate. For the amount of young and very impressionable followers that he has, most of them probably being teenagers or young adults who may see him and his behavior and think it is totally okay to just, you know, do drugs all the time or to cuss people out on public forums. I just think it's not very business savvy. But I do want to say that I don't hate him. I don't hate his cosmetics. I probably won't purchase anything from his line for a while, especially just until this whole thing dies down, until maybe he gives some sort of public apology or is really kind of genuine. I feel like he's kind of lost his genuineness and his humility, and he keeps saying how humble he is, but I just don't see it. So that's just my opinion on that. Toasted Heels asks, how'd you and your boyfriend meet? Haha, Totes being kind of nosy over here. It's totally fine. We did meet in college. We were friends pretty much all the way through college. Omeons asks, if you could only take one lipstick for a vacation, what lipstick would it be? You already know that if you watch my Snapchat. It would definitely be Urban Decay Matte Revolution lipstick in After Dark, which they recently discontinued the Matte Revolution line, but they did bring the shade After Dark back in their Comfort Matte formula. Chitty Bell asks, what is your favorite makeup brand for Indian/warm brown skin tones? And she also asked, do you have any product that you've sworn by for over 5 years? If so, what is it? So in terms of my favorite makeup brand for Indian skin tones, there is no one brand that works good across the board. But I will say, like, MAC has a lot of color options. So if you're looking for, say, like a foundation or something, and you want to go to a makeup counter and know for sure they will have your coloring, I do think MAC is probably the best way to go. In terms of the products I've sworn by for over 5 years, I have quite a few, and that actually gives me a really good video idea. I may do a video on that in the future because I have a lot. This is a fun question. Shamika asks, what's the most outrageous trend you bandwagoned into following and looked back and went, what the heck was I thinking? Fashion wise, mine was wearing my friend's brother's clothes because baggy clothes were in, because God forbid we wear clothes that flattered us. I would probably say was it in junior high? Every single person had Etnies or DCs, like the skater shoes that were like big and puffy, and I was into it. I had a pair of DCs that were black with like hot pink like lining and stitching on them that I wore to death. I also had a pair of Etnies that were like this chocolate brown with this like beige like E on the side. Now looking back, I feel like I had like a giant just a giant puff ball on my feet, but that was a trend back then. Everybody wore them. QVY Fom asks, best way to eat potatoes? Girl, fried. Always fried. Elinax _ asks, first of all, you are super inspiring. I love you. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. I wanted to ask, what is your favorite thing about living in LA and the worst? Personally, I hate the traffic. Yes. The worst is definitely traffic. Just the sheer congestion of people in LA, and the traffic is just, it's definitely the worst thing about LA. But the best thing I would probably say is the fact that you're never far away from a Sephora. Kara J33 asks, how is your take on sponsored videos? So I did want to hit this topic in this video as well, because if you guys have followed my channel for a while, you know that I don't do sponsored videos. Well, I guess let me say I have never done a sponsored video in the past, and at this point in my life and at this point in my YouTube career, I guess, even though YouTube isn't my career, but you guys know what I mean. I don't see myself doing a sponsored video. I personally don't ever think there's anything wrong with accepting free product. Many people get it. I also get free product on occasion, and I don't see anything wrong with that. But I think when you start exchanging money and when money starts changing hands, all of a sudden it really becomes a little biased. That's just my opinion, and that's not saying that every single YouTuber who does a sponsored video, it's a biased video. I can't make that kind of generalization, but I can say that just human nature is, if someone is giving you money, you feel like you owe them. And for example, if a company does pay you money to talk about their product, you're probably not going to start talking badly about that product just because now you feel like you owe them. Most of the sponsored videos that I've seen on YouTube have felt like I'm watching an advertisement and have kind of felt they felt really sponsored. The great thing about YouTube back in the day, back like, 5 or 6 years ago, when the beauty community was just, it wasn't as big, and it really was the place where you could go and almost feel like you were getting your best friend's opinion. You assume your best friend is not going to steer you wrong. If you ask your best friend, hey, how did that lipstick work out? And she didn't like it, she's gonna tell you she didn't like it, and you can trust that. And that's kind of how YouTube used to be. Whereas now, with all of the idea of partnerships and sponsored videos and all this and that, I think it's great. I think it's allowing people to actually make a career out of YouTube. Therefore, they can upload more often, they can kind of promote more products. I think that's fantastic. But I do think, that trust, that whole idea of, trust this person the way you would trust your best friend. Again, I don't want to make any mass generalizations. I'm not by any means saying that every single sponsored video is biased or it's wrong or, it's not trustworthy. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just thinking on the whole, that's just my thoughts on it. And that's why I've never done one, because I want you guys to know that what I am saying about a product is 110% honest. You can trust me, I hope, and I want you guys to know. And my reputation on YouTube is really important to me, and I don't want you guys to ever feel like I'm being, biased or I'm being paid out to speak highly about a product ever. Okay, I think this is a really good question to end on. Maybe it's not the most uplifting question, but I think it'll be a good one. Julies_BTQ asks, what's an event that happened in your life that really cemented who you were? That would definitely be my mother passing away. That's something that I'm still not super comfortable talking about, but I do feel like I'm getting a lot better at it. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys already know the entire story. That picture got a ton of likes and so many supportive comments. So for that, I just have to say thank you guys so much. It's a little bit of a newer thing for me to just kind of openly discuss. I know it happened a really long time ago, but it's just been one of those things that I kind of grew up almost thinking it was a little bit of a taboo subject, and nobody could really understand because all of my friends and all of my other family, like my cousins and stuff, they had two parents. They had a mom and a dad, and I didn't. So it's a little bit, it's just something I'm still kind of coping with. I've been debating whether or not to do a full, maybe like a story time or a Q&A video if you guys have specific questions about anything to do with that whole time period in my life. I would be more than happy to open up about that. I think potentially me opening up basically to the world on the internet will not only maybe help you guys get to know me a little bit better, but I think it'll help me kind of bring closure to it as well, because I've never really talked about it. So yeah, let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in. It's not going to be the happy video of my channel, but like I said, it may help you guys get to know me a little bit better. But yeah, that's it. That wraps up my Q&A video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. This will definitely not be my last Q&A video, so keep your questions in the back of your head for the next time I do one of these, and I will talk to you guys in my next video on Thursday. I'll see you then. Bye. You guys can probably tell the big trend with eyeshadow palettes are these kinds of reddish. The overall texture of all of the products in this palette is really soft and smooth and silky.